Today's episode is brought to you by Modern Grower. Modern Grower is your source for time and labor-saving farm tools, such as the Paper Pot Transplanter, Quick Click Seeder, and the Jang Direct Seeder. Turn laborsome tasks into free time with tools by Modern Grower. You've studied that along with lichens. You've studied a lot of weed management in your career. You received the Idaho Weed Hall of Fame Award. What was your work that led to that?
I think Idaho weed, it was just, consistent hatred of weed. Just not, just not giving up. Just keep trying different things.
If you zoom back at your career with weeds, what did that focus on?
Initially, I was just like everybody else. I was learning. I learned a lot. And then I just kept seeing more and experiencing more. And I got a little bit with the Bureau of Land Management. We manage huge acreages, like all of Hell's Canyon, for example, or just hundreds of thousands of acres. And we had pastures that I think one of our pastures is 3,000 acres when there's not much for fences or anything. And a lot of livestock management, you can't manage cows in that kind of pasture. You need paddocks or small pastures if you want to really get the cows to do what you want them to do. You can't get good use out of them when you have hilly country and wide open spaces. They just go where they're lazy. They just go where they want to go. You got to force them to do things. And I think for me, I got into the control insects for weeds, and we basically worked on a systematic method of getting a employee to go back to college and study biocontrol insects, and then made him like an agency person who would consult for both the state agencies and the federal agencies and help them with control insects. That was one of my big pushes.
Or was this more invasive species you were trying to keep out of the native grasses?
They were more naturalized. I even wrote a little article for the Native Plant Society. This issue, the June issue or spring issue of the Idaho Native Plant Society, I wrote about a little burr buttercup. It was not very common when I started work here 45 years ago. And now it's everywhere underfoot. And when I researched for that article and talking about it, I said the title of the article was just "Burr Buttercup is not my friend." And I said why, and then I tried to have reasons and tell the history of it. It was actually first collected in 19 in Idaho. I had no idea it came in that early, but it was not very well naturalized. It took 50 years before it started to be common. And I think quite a few weeds are here for 100 years before they become invasive because they genetically adapt to areas, climate.
Do you buy the notion that they're filling a void? They're providing an ecological function that isn't there anymore, isn't being provided by maybe because of human involvement?
I think nature adorns a vacuum, but I think there were natives that would occur there. There were less noticeable things like lichens that would grow in those spaces. And there is such a thing, particularly in the livestock industry, I'd say lichen blindness, where they can't see it because it's small. And same thing with mosses. These small things grow there. They're particularly when they dry up, they don't look like much of anything. I've even taken serious Forest Service researcher who retired once, who said he came on some science-based field trip that I led. He says, "I've never seen these things. I don't really think they exist." And I showed it to him and he said, "Oh, they're just really small." In our society, we don't look at the little things that much. We're focused on the big things and the sexy things that he just didn't really look closely enough. I was out yesterday on this very lush grassland on the north side of a sagebrush hill, and you almost have to part the grasses with your hands, and they're just starting to dry up this time of year. And the entire soil surface was covered with mosses and a few lichens. And it's just, I'm sure most of the people, like the ranchers, don't know there's any moss there. They just see the shrubs and the grass. And as they just trample or kill the perennial grass, it gets taken over by the cheatgrass or the annual flammable grass. That's why we have so many fires in the West.
Hey there, want to spend less time pulling weeds? Check out Soil Shield by Modern Grower. It's the pre-cut landscape fabric solution to help you drastically reduce weed pressure. Just roll it out, staple it down, and plant. Then let it do the work for you. Say goodbye to endless weeding and hello to more free time. Plus, it's high quality, durable, and will last for years, saving you time and money in the long run. It's available in a variety of row and hole spacings to accommodate all the crops that vegetable farmers grow. Learn more about Soil Shield landscape fabric at shop.moderngrower.co or using the link below.